some actors prefer to go into their character, and sometimes they even lose themselves a little bit, and it's a bit hard just to switch it and go back to become yourself. Is it about you, or is your approach to acting different?
I think for me, when a scene is going really well, you forget that it's like some scenes it's impossible to really get lost in it if you're just like walking into a room saying bye and leaving. But when it gets especially between you and someone else, it feels like it's going well when you're able to forget that you are acting and you do feel like you are that character. And I think you kind of can't manufacture that just happens when you're bouncing off someone in the moment. That's always what you're kind of aiming to get, or I'm always aiming for.
But when this scene ends, and like cut, and what, are you easily going back and becoming Hannah, or is there any aftermath of being Sonia?
I think I can like snap out of it pretty fast, to be honest. It doesn't like maybe you have a feeling of like, whoa, I felt a bit lost then, that was really intense. But it's never like I'm like when cut is cool, I'm not like, who am I? You know? Like I always know that was me and I was just doing something else.
I'm very curious to hear what Lindsay will say, because from my experience, coming back to the fact that you said that you're a very nice person, that was my experience, that you're a very nice person. But to be honest, sometimes bumping into you on set was really scary for me. I was like trying not to touch you, not to talk with you. So I felt that you are Katherine, actually, not Lindsay.
That isn't always my process. But for me, with this film, it really needed to be, because Katherine's levels and emotional levels were very complex. And when you're working in a very small environment, you can be really easily distracted. There's a lots of crew, you know, and you've got this bubble that you have to concentrate on. So I found, and I have done this in other films, but particularly worked very well with Katherine, is I would have to zone out. And there's quite a few photographs. I've noticed a few photographs where you can actually see where I can't look at anyone, and I literally have to zone into sort of one spot, because before we're going into a take, to me, if I just go into a take and my level goes from this to this, that to me is pretending. You know, I have to work up to where that is. And part of that is, literally just being very, very insular and very micro-focused on that point. It's almost a point where you can't hear anything that's going on. You can't see anything that's going on.
I think it also is like where your character's base level is. Because Katherine's base level is so tense and stressful, like you have to sit at around that level, and then Sonia's at a relatively neutral base level most of the time when, she's more upbeat, I think.
I didn't feel that I had to go into too much of a dark place, or I didn't feel I had to do a really crazy thing for Blake. I just had to remember I just had to enter into what I was playing. And it shouldn't be, if you've prepped, it shouldn't be such a dramatic thing. But some things take a bit more energy because they're so, referring to that last big piece of work, it wasn't natural what I was having to do, but yet it had to seem very natural. But what I did for Blake was probably quite naturalistic.
I'm not really an actor who does that, who sort of sticks as that character all the way when filming. I will, once I've done it, I'll stop, because then I just become me, so I can evaluate what I'm doing, and then I'll jump back in. So that's the way I approach things. I like to step back away from it and then go straight back in. But I know I don't think Lindsay was doing this, but I think a lot of actors are the type of actors who literally they arrive and they are being the character until they leave, which I think is quite intense, quite hard, I think, to keep it up.